What is going on, YouTube land? I am Chris Catalunya. Before we get into today's shoe review, go ahead and check out my Instagram, Chris Catalunya with the underscore at the end. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know when I upload a new video. And we're hitting it really close to that 10,000 subscriber mark here on this YouTube channel. Thanks if you're subscribed already. If you're not, you definitely will want to, because once we hit 10K, I'm gonna give away a Supreme Floral Skateboard deck and a Supreme Super Soaker. So definitely subscribe to the channel. In hand, I have that collaborative effort from Converse and fashion house Fear of God Essentials on the Chuck 70 in the natural colorway. Jerry Lorenzo, he's been killing it in the sneaker game and in the fashion industry, having successful collaborations with both Nike and Converse. His goal in mind, he set out to create a shoe that was both classic and functional, hence this Chuck 70. Now, back in 2018, we all played witness to the first iterations of that Fear of God and Converse collaboration on the Chuck 70, which pretty much looks the same as this shoe in hand. In comparing the 2018 releases and the 2020 releases, to be quite honest, it pretty much looks the same. Before we get into the specifics of the shoe, this isn't your typical Chuck Taylor shoe. This is a Chuck 70. Sure, upon first glance, the Chuck Taylor, the Chuck 70, they look identical, but don't be fooled. The major differences between the Chuck Taylor and the Chuck 70 is that the Chuck 70, it offers more of a premium build and premium materials. The Chuck 70 was created in 2013 and was definitely based off the OG Chuck Taylor shoe. The major differences being that the upper is made of your double ply canvas material, meaning the upper is more durable on this shoe as opposed to your regular Chuck. The rubber on the midsole and the toe box area attain a varnish to them to give it more of a vintage look as opposed to the plain white that you see on the original. The insole of a Chuck 70 has more foam, thus providing more support for the arches and providing more stability, unlike the flat insole from a regular Chuck. And there is more stitching reinforcements towards the front of the shoe where the shoe normally creases and the shoe starts to separate from the midsole and the upper of the shoe. So that's pretty much the main differences between the Chuck 70 and the OG Chuck. This Fear of God Essentials Chuck 70 shoe released on March 26th of 2020, and it was very limited to the stores that it released at. I actually was able to attain this pair at Sneaker Politics here in Austin, Texas. And there were 3 different colorways to have released. You had the natural with the black with the natural, and the gray with the cream. Your original Chuck, your standard Chuck, these shoes usually retail for about $50 USD, and you can get them from your regular shoe warehouse, whether it be Academy, DSW, Dick's Sporting Goods, wherever, and you can usually find coupons for these shoes in your mailers. In comparison, your Fear of God Essentials, your Chuck 70, retails for a price point of $110 USD. Add your taxes and your VAT just based on where you reside. Looking on the resale market, looking at StockX, looking at GOAT, this shoe, just depending on the size that you are needing, it's ranging anywhere from a little above retail price to about $170, which is not much in terms of profit if your objective is to flip this shoe. But if you're trying to get this shoe, it's definitely worth it right now. There are rumors in which Fear of God Jerry Lorenzo is going to sever ties with both Nike and Converse. Until that happens, I don't really see the resale on this shoe going up anytime soon. Now, upon making your purchase, we are presented with this natural color shoebox where it says Essentials in black letters at the top. You have your sticker right here, Converse, Essentials on the side, Converse on the side. And on the inside, your standard tissue paper that protects the shoes. Taking a look at the upper of the shoe, once again, it's predominantly done up in this double ply cotton canvas material that is done in this natural color. And the double ply canvas upper is supposed to be more durable than the uppers that are on your standard Chuck shoe. The medial side of the shoe features your signature Converse logo right here, where you have Converse All-Star done up in red, Chuck Taylor in cursive with a blue star done up in blue, posted on a white background, and you have your air ventilation holes with metal grommets right here. Reverting back to the lateral side, it doesn't attain any of those features, keeping the shoe simple and clean. Moving towards the front of the shoe, we get into the toe box area, and it is employing a black rubberized material to protect the upper of the shoe as well as the front of the shoe. And I like this black toe box because your standard Chuck, this is usually white. You don't really see Converse deviating into another color on this toe box area, and it is definitely a big contrast from what we have on the upper of the shoe. Getting above that, we get into the lacing system, and you'll see there are 8 metal grommet eyelets going from the toe box all the way to the collar of the shoe. And feeding into those eyelets, we are actually provided 2 sets of laces inside the box. We have one of a natural color and one of a black color, and both are of a cotton build and of a flat shape. Now, I took the liberty to do that Union style lacing on this particular Chuck 70 shoe. If you're not familiar with Union style lacing, I made a how-to video in the link above. It's where you do 3/4 of the shoe in one lace color and the 1/4 in a different lace color. To be honest, I like this style of lacing a lot. It just makes the shoe pop a little bit more. Speaking on pop and flare, Jerry Lorenzo, to make this Chuck 70 stand on its own, he decided to add a woven cotton strip at the back that attains a military style hoop at the back. And having the laces feed through that back hook, it just makes the shoe design complete. Behind those sets of laces is the premium grade leather tongue, which is dyed in black. And I like the contrast. You can see the grain of the leather, you can see the grain of the canvas. It just looks pretty good matched up together. Getting into the inside of the shoe, there's nothing special about it. The lining is pretty plain. It matches the exterior of the shoe. There's no padding or any technology really happening on the inside. Now, what you will find that is special about the insides of these shoes, when you pull out the insole, you'll find that it is hella thick, especially towards the heel of the insole. And I say this in comparison to your standard OG Chuck, like your insoles in those shoes are pretty much non-existent. So what we have is a fabric done up in that natural color placed on top of that foam, where towards the heel on the left shoe, we have the Essentials Fear of God label, and then Converse Chuck Taylor label on the right. The midsole of the shoe can be identified by this off-white varnished rubber material that is wrapped around at the base of the shoe. At the front, you have that texturized toe cap to prevent quick wear, and then that foxing stripe that goes all the way around, done up in black. Then we get to the back of the shoe where the license plates are. On the left shoe, it says Essentials Fear of God, and then the right shoe, your standard Converse Chuck Taylor All-Star label. The outsole is done in that same off-white color but does not attain that varnish to them, and is made of a blown rubber to enable durability and flexibility, and attains your standard traction markings of your Chuck Taylor shoe, where you have the grids at the forefoot of the shoe, grids towards the back with horizontal lines, and your branding of Converse in the middle. When it comes to sizing, I'm normally rocking a size 8.5 or a 9 US, 8.5 being my true to size, but when it comes to Converse, Converse tends to run a half size bigger, and also it runs pretty narrow. So I actually got an 8.5, which is my true to size. I went with an 8.5 in this shoe, and honestly, putting my foot inside, I think I could have done a lot better with a size 8. I should have went smaller with this shoe. If you don't know your size in Chuck Taylors, I suggest that you go to a retail store that stocks them, try on a shoe over there. If you have wider feet, just get sized up appropriately. In terms of comfort, this is 100% more comfortable than your standard Chuck Taylor shoe, especially with it employing a thicker foam insole. It makes the shoe a lot more bearable. Chuck Taylors are usually just a flat shoe. Also, with the upper employing that canvas material, the shoe is very breathable. Overall, I think this collaborative effort between Fear of God Essentials and Converse, they definitely pulled off this classic look and refreshed it a bit. Really, I can't find any real reason to be mad at the shoe. I love that off-white varnish on the midsole, the 2 sets of laces so I can do this Union style lacing, and this military style hook at the heel. Pretty cool stuff. And I love how his shoe complements both his Fear of God clothing line and his Essentials clothing lineup. Like, the shoe is very versatile and it's pretty attainable right now. I mean, it doesn't have high resale. Alright guys, I think this is a good stopping point for this video. What do you think about this collaborative effort from Converse and Fear of God Essentials? Did Jerry Lorenzo do it? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Go ahead and check out my Instagram, Gris Catalunya with the underscore at the end. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know when I upload a new video. And again, we're hitting it close to 10,000 subs on this channel. Please subscribe to the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. It is just down there, that red button. Thank you. Thank you. Alright guys, I'm Gris Catalunya, and we will check you next time. Cheers! See you now.